chop am ya. He dey chop am fuga fuga. Oga dey chop am nyanga 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 nyanga. Boom boom boom. Oga dey chop am wa. Oh, money, Africa money, Oga dey chop am mo. Poor man dey work, rich dey enjoy. I say how we go bridge oh. The gap between accountant dey chop oh. Oga dey chop am fuga fuga. Bank manager dey chop. Oga dey chop am basa basa. Director dey chop oh. Oga dey chop am nyanga nyanga. Even pastors dey chop 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 chop.
It's 10 minutes to the top of the hour here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And it's time for Corruption Watch, as we have every Wednesday morning. I am Daniel Dazi, already in the studio with Clara Berry Kasati and Dr. Valentin. And unfortunately, I would have to make this announcement. We had scheduled to speak with Professor Newman Kusi, the head of Special Economic Advisor to Dr. Kwabena Dufour, when Dr. Dufour was Minister for Finance under the late Professor Mills. And he is the head of the Institute for Fiscal Studies, the CEO of that institute. Unfortunately, Prof Kusi has declined to join us. He agreed to come earlier, and he will not be coming. So like we said earlier, we were supposed to speak to a representative of Dr. Kwabena Dufour. That was Prof Newman Kusi, and he won't be coming anymore, both in his personal capacity, and Dr. Dufour has not given us a person to replace him. So we'll continue the show without him. Apologies to listeners for any inconvenience. I know you were itching to hear from him. But the show will continue with lawyer Clara and Dr. Valentin. Now, the Busia Institute for Rural and Democratic Development's BIRDD and the entire Busia family wish to invite the general public to the 40th anniversary lecture celebrating the legacy of Dr. Kofi Abrifa Busia. Join us on Tuesday, the 28th of August, 2018 at 3 p.m. at the Accra International Conference Center as we celebrate the life of Dr. K.A. Busia and the values he stood for. The special guest of honor is His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Now, are you planning your home or office renovation? Kimo Home, your trusted supplier of complete bathrooms, showers, tap mixers, and accessories, has in stock all you need to make your home and office look and feel great. With as little as 38 Ghana cedis, you can buy yourself a bathroom accessory, and with 585 Ghana cedis, you can get a WC from world-class brands like Ideal Standard. All these have fantastic modern features and warranties. So rush now to their showrooms at South Industrial Area, close to STC or Mechanical Lloyd, or to the Spintex branch opposite Energy Bank, or chat with them on WhatsApp 0244 030 411. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Kimo Home for great deals. Kimo Home, better life through better quality. Now, there's nothing more painful than running out of data when you need it the most, and that's why Airtel Tigo is giving you big time bundles. With Airtel Tigo's big time data bundles, you get more data for 1 Ghana cedi, 2 Ghana cedi, and 5 Ghana cedis than anywhere else, and you can also get a whole 1.5 gig for only 10 Ghana cedis. Even better is a big 2 gig for the same 10 Ghana cedis when you bundle directly from an Airtel Tigo scratch card or from your Airtel Tigo Money account. The best part is that you don't have to rush to use it all before it expires, because Airtel Tigo's big time data bundles have no daily, weekly or monthly limit. You can browse how you want, when you want. Get the new big time data bundles today by dialing *111# and use a bundle that works for you. T's and C's apply. This offer is both for existing and new Airtel Tigo subscribers, so join Airtel Tigo today. Get big time data and browse only on the network that gives you the most. Airtel Tigo. Now, our partners for Corruption Watch are the Center for Democratic Development, CDD Ghana, Ghana Integrity Initiative, GII, Ghana Anti-Corruption Coalition, GACC, Joy FM, Africa Center for International Law and Accountability, ASILA. You can find us on Facebook, Corruption Watch Ghana. On Twitter, we are at CW Ghana. On Instagram, we are Corruption Watch _GH. The website is stopcorruptionghana.org. The hotline is 055 453 6586 or 055 453 6295. Hashtag Wanamoni, hashtag Ghana Bre. Corruption Watch is sponsored by Strengthening Action Against Corruption, STAC. Today, we will feature 2 of our 6 segments in the show, and the segments are From the Source and Anti-Corruption School. On the From the Source section, we bring you interviews, live or pre-recorded, of actors involved in the case or under discussion. Right, and this is where we're supposed to have Prof. Kusi. So we would have only Anti-Corruption School, and we will bring you resource persons to share their knowledge of anti-corruption cases or issues we feature on Corruption Watch in order to deepen our understanding of the issues. We have on the show Dr. Valentin Mensah, a professional accountant, auditor, and researcher, to comment on all the issues that have emerged from the banking industry following his disclosures in a report he has published, which raises critical issues. Now, these are critical governance issues in the banks. Significantly, he disclosed his findings on Corruption Watch in the morning of August 1, 2018, and BOG came out with the dissolution of 5 banks shortly after that. Also joining us in the Anti-Corruption School segment is Madame Clara Berry Kasati, a private legal practitioner and a law lecturer. She will break down all the legal issues for us. Essentially, we are dwelling on another current issue which is too hot to ignore. I am talking about the banking sector wahala. On this platform on Joy FM, you have been hearing about details of the UT and Capital Bank issues which led to their collapse exactly a year ago. But what is new this morning is that an insider is telling Corruption Watch that Unibank should have been shut down before GCB Bank took over UT and Capital Banks. Frederick Esiama will be joining us with the details of that one shortly. But let me say good morning to my guests, Clara Berry Kasati and Dr. Valentin Mensah. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And good morning to your listeners as well.
Great morning. Hope. Thanks for joining us, the both of you. What we will do is we'll take the Joy Business Minute a bit early today, and then we'll be joined with Frederick to give us the background to today's discussion, and then we'll deal with the vexed issues. Stay with us. This is the Super Morning Show.
And welcome to the Joy Business Minute.
It's Karen and Daryl, and this morning,
the total value of mobile money accounts with commercial banks for the second quarter declined marginally. Latest payment systems data from the Bank of Ghana showed that it reached 2.1 billion cedis.
A former deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana, Siedu Mante, is disputing claims that action taken by the central bank to revoke licenses of some banks will impact negatively on the growth of the banking sector. He says the fact that deposited funds are protected is an assurance that the industry is robust.
Corporate governance consultant Marian Bano has called for a generic corporate governance code which would be compulsorily adopted by businesses and regulatory bodies.
And the Trade Ministry has promised to create an enabling environment to facilitate international trade. This follows Ghana's projected ranking in the 2018 World Bank Doing Business report, which showed that Ghana had dropped from the 88th position to the 120th.
120? That's not good.
We're hoping for the best. We have more at 306.
Bibiara wa melkom Luciano le melkom Nofiano ye melkom. What are you looking for? Melkom got it all. Great discounts, dodo. Yamafia so. Best bargains on our days. Everything here is a bargain. High quality, goods be a priority. So tell your mom, tell Poppy, tell your actually everybody.
The Buzia Institute for Rural and Democratic Development, BIRDD, and the entire Buzia family invites you to the 40th anniversary lecture celebrating the legacy of Dr. Kofi Abrefa Buzia. Tuesday, the 28th of August, 3 p.m. at the Accra International Conference Center. Come as we celebrate the life and values of Dr. Kofi Abrefa Buzia. Special guest of honor, His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. The Buzia Institute for Rural and Democratic Development, BIRDD, projects and protects the vision, works, and legacy of Dr. Kofi Abrefa Buzia, which primarily had to do with rural development, democracy, and education. We entreat all who believe in the vision and values of Dr. Buzia to participate in the 40th anniversary lecture. Remember, it's Tuesday, the 28th of August, 3 p.m. at the Accra International Conference Center. All are welcome.
Time waits for no man. The future belongs to the brave. Nothing comes without a fight. Fight for a better future. Fight to change the world.
Make your mark at Academic City College with its new campus in Hacho, Accra. With activity-based learning and premium teaching talent, take your education beyond the theoretical classroom.
Visit www.accghana.com. Admissions open now for September 2018. Academic City, unlocking potential, one leader at a time.
There is a bank in town, solid and strong, giving you the service you desire. It's Commerce, Savings and Loans. We give you financial security you deserve through our Susu account, church account, fixed account, kiddie account, and many more. Our GD loan for churches, asset finance, federal loans, and others have interest rates that are perfect for any pocket. At Commerce, Savings and Loans, we make life convenient for you. Make payments on all mobile network, pay for DSTV, mobile money, TV license, and many others. Call us on 0302-767-827 or 667-783. Commerce, Savings and Loan. We offer you a relationship beyond.
Hello, madam. Mommy has malaria. She said I should come and buy Hexapin and Agazone and Talimodino Nabutolosis.
Hey, Bayo, this malaria and you are stressing like this? Get Novamita. Novamita kills malaria parasites and comes in a special pack that fits into your pocket, wallet, or purse, so you never forget your daily dose. And if she has resultant anemia, give her 3-FA. 3-FA is a blood tonic.
Always get tested for malaria before taking medications. If you are pregnant or a lactating mother, seek medical advice first. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Novamita and 3-FA is manufactured and distributed by Pharmanova Limited. Locate them at Osu at number 3 Okodan Street or call 054-3171-894.
Novamita, sort to malaria one touch. Any 3-FA anemia, away. Novamita.
Shower to kill malaria.
Blow the candles, sound the trumpets, and scream! Media is 50! Media, your #1 air conditioner and appliance manufacturer, is 50 years old. 50 years of top-notch quality, and we're celebrating it big. Starting from 15% discount on appliances from any Media showroom or authorized reseller. Join the celebration of Media at 50. We have amazing home appliances at great discounts. Tabletop fridges starting at 499 Ghana cedis. 4-burner gas cookers starting at 799 Ghana cedis. Chest freezers are also starting at 799 Ghana cedis. Blow the candles, sound the trumpet, and scream! And so many appliances for you to choose from. One so better, dear. Remember, it's a celebration. It's Media at 50 big sales on appliances. Visit a Media showroom or authorized reseller now, or call us on 0503 400 600. It's the Media at 50 promotion. Terms and conditions apply.
If you swipe your First National Bank Gold or Platinum Visa debit card as much as Kwesi does, you'll earn so much free money, you too will be laughing all the way to the bank. Earn free money every time you swipe your First National Bank Gold or Platinum Visa debit card. Money does grow on our tree. This is not a promotion. It's a First National Bank thing. Terms, conditions, and rules apply. First National Bank. How can we help you?
Super Morning Show.
Qu'est-ce que c'est sur soi, c'est la Ghana. Arrêtez le babadage. C'est moi le tu. Sit me back again. Yeah. Nano, il est bas. alongside Man and Morris, Babyface. What you say now?
Africa money, I got the chop on fuga fuga. Wanna money, money, Africa money, I got the chop on fuga fuga.
It's 4 minutes past 9. Thanks for staying with us. So Prof. Newman Kusi of the Institute for Fiscal Studies, who was Special Economic Advisor to Dr. Kwabena Duffuor when he was Finance Minister, has sent a clarification that the shareholder has asked him to decline due to a development that has come up. So those were the specific words that Prof. Kusi told us, that Dr. Duffuor has asked Prof. Kusi to decline this invitation to an interview due to some developments that have come up. So we will be unable to host that representative of Dr. Kwabena Duffuor that we told you we will. Apologies, he agreed to come, but as you heard, some developments have come up, so he's been asked to decline. We'll go straight to the phone lines now and speak with Frederick Isiama of Corruption Watch. She will give us new information as he gives us this background to begin with. So, Fred, let's begin with the background that we have to this Unibank saga before we go to the new information that we have.
Okay. Good morning, Daniel. My apologies for not being able to be in the studio. Even as I speak currently, I am with a worker of Unibank who is giving me fresh insight into some of the issues. But let me start from this point. Note that alleged infractions involving Unibank alone total a minimum of 5.3 billion Ghana cedis. This consists of loans that were secured and earned no interest income because they were mostly given to shareholders and related parties of Unibank. Now, our source is telling us that Unibank shouldn't have been in existence into 2016 because by that point, the infractions were too glaring. But the situation was allegedly managed through political influences because literally from 2013 down, most of government business went to Unibank. And let me just tell you, understand it this way. You know that KNUST, for instance, their fees go to Unibank. GIMPA has its fees going to Unibank. The Black Stars, the Black Queens, all the national teams virtually have their accounts with Unibank. And this is what our source and the worker who has been talking to me this morning mean by government business going to Unibank. So this is how the situation was managed for them. Remember that on August 1, 2018, when the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, announced the formation of Consolidated Bank, he said the official administrator appointed for Unibank in March 2018 had found that the bank is beyond rehabilitation. Supplying more information on that statement, our source explains that the taxpayer is putting government's 5.6 billion Ghana cedis bond because you don't want to lose all the money that all these public institutions have put in Unibank. And like I mentioned, GIMPA, KNUST, the national teams, and so on. And as the veil began to lift on the goings-on at Unibank, the source claims it was clear as of November last year that the capital adequacy ratio of Unibank was negative 20%, even though the rule says you shouldn't do more than 20%. Meanwhile, the numbers that were going to Bank of Ghana were not the correct numbers. So somebody was playing with the figures to hide something, allegedly. According to him, it was fraud for the bank to extend facilities to companies in the holder holdings, that's the Duffuor holdings, and other related parties, sometimes beyond the permitted limit, as well as allegedly diverting a portion of 1.2 billion Ghana cedis liquidity support is secured from BOG into setting up Construction Bank. Now, to confirm some of his claims, I have been speaking with this worker this morning. He has been in the IT division for a long time, and so he was witnessing some of these things from the background. And he tells me that there were so many transfers to very big people. We have to keep the identity of this worker for now because he can give us more in the coming days. My understanding is that the problems of the bank started about 4 years ago when the bank started revising working conditions for workers. Some workers were allegedly converted from permanent employees to contract or casual staff. Apart from that, some of them had their benefits revised. So, for instance, those who started 7 years ago were getting benefits for their wives, for instance, to go to hospital and so on. All those benefits were removed. So that is what we have this morning from the sources that we have been speaking to.
Okay.
Meanwhile, leading figures connected to Capital Bank have been fighting back. And you know of, you were talking this morning about Dr. Otabil. Remember that they received, that bank received 610 million from the Bank of Ghana to address its liquidity struggle, but they thought that funds were allegedly mismanaged. So this morning, the resource persons in the studio are going to deal with all these issues. But we, from our point of view, wanted to present to the public some deeper information that we are gathering that can help shape the discussion.
Thank you very much, Frederick. So before you go, just to get a context of everything that you've told us, we already know what has happened with Unibank. But the new information that we have is that Unibank should have happened somewhere from 2015 entering 2016, because it is at this point that large sums of monies were being paid out to some leading persons whose names have not been given.
Yes, sure. And in fact, this person says that, look, Unibank should have been collapsed long before UT Bank and Capital Bank.
Okay.
That is what he says.
Fred.
That the Bank of Ghana delayed too long until everything was worse before then, that this action should have been taken earlier than 2016.
Fred, thank you very much. Let's keep our eye on these issues and then we'll come back and present them again. So that was Frederick Esiama. He is with us on Corruption Watch, gathering some new information that we have. So we are going into anti-corruption school. And we have with us in the studio Dr. Valentin Menta, a professional accountant, auditor, and researcher with expertise in corporate governance, and Madam Clarabieri Kasati, a private legal practitioner and law lecturer. I'm going to start with lawyer Clarabieri in this one, because we were dealing with an issue that had a bit of a legal angle to it before we transitioned into the Kumasi issue and came into Corruption Watch. And it's related to this banking issue. Lawyer, these 800 workers who have lost their jobs and they are demanding exit packages, they have been petitioning government, they are basing their demands on the promises they were given by their current management in GCB. What do you make of that development?
Well, with respect to the employees, like I said previously, my heart goes out to them. It's sad. It's sad in this economy for anybody to lose their jobs. It's a really sad situation. With respect to how they can at least have their grievances resolved, it is difficult to be able to say with certainty without access to certain information or documents that are available. Generally, with respect to a situation where a company is liquidated, of course, it means that there has been some restructuring that has affected the rights of the company. How you address that generally depends on the procedure that has been involved. If this was a voluntary procedure, they would have sat with all the stakeholders, including the new owner, and they would have agreed on the modalities as to who pays what, who takes what liability, and who pays what to the employees. With this situation, from what they are saying, the new management had promised them. I don't know the form that promise took, but if they had certain, at least documentation or evidence to that effect, it is something that they can enforce. So if there was an agreement between them and the new ownership that they would be giving A, B, C, D package, then that is an agreement that they have made that is enforceable.
Okay.
So, but for now, it is not clear whether this was just a discussion or indeed there was an enforceable agreement. So it is difficult to say one way or the other without access to certain documentation, and then the proceedings that went
now,
on.
of course, these are claims made by the workers that there was a DEBA, there was an agreement with GCB. In fact, listening to them and engaging with them, you get the sense that there is already some engagement ongoing between their leadership, as in those who have been removed, and the management of the new institution. But I mean, look, from your experience, from how this story has developed, is it feasible to pay out these monies to these persons?
If it was an agreement that the new ownership made, I believe that the new ownership would have assessed their ability or otherwise before making those agreements. Generally, like there's always a saying that pacta sunt servanda. If you make an agreement, you have to honor it. So if the new administration did make that agreement, then they have to honor it.
But is it an advisable situation?
It becomes legal obligations. When you enter into legal obligations, you don't have the luxury of deciding, oh, okay, do I now want to honor it? Because if you don't honor it, there are always repercussions. So it depends. I don't think if they did make that agreement, they are not in a position to renege. Of course, if they renege and the other side decides to enforce their rights, you have to take responsibility for the legal consequences.
Okay.
Yes.
On the face of it, the issue that has come, the legal opinions that have come up is that looking at the nature of this one, we can't just talk about, okay, let's go to the labor law, we are going to pay out these monies because these people were workers and they are not working anymore. This argument has been made that this is a special situation. We have already lost so much money in there. So the receivers and even the new management cannot just begin to pay out monies like this.
This is not a special situation at all. I mean, companies have been collapsing, receivers have been appointed. Whoever the receiver was appointed, I'm sure this is not the first time that they are being a receiver. So there's nothing special in that context. And legal rights are legal rights. If you enter into legal obligations, it is one of the things as a people that I think we have a problem. I have commented. We cannot continue to be people who don't want to abide by rules. You don't make a rule, and then when you feel you don't want to apply with it to abide by the rule any longer, then you find an excuse to get out of it. That is lawlessness. So I don't think this is a special situation.
Okay.
If they entered into a legally binding agreement, the only issue is it a legally binding agreement or it is not? If it is a legally binding agreement, you know the consequences of non-compliance. So you either comply or you face the consequences of non-compliance. This is not one of the situations where I would advise that once more we abandon laws and regulations and then find refuge elsewhere. This is not special.
Okay.
When employees are made redundant, there are rules regulating it. You abide by the rules. That is how, when we say rule of law, that is what we mean. Rule of law cannot mean when I feel like complying with the law, then I comply with it. Then when I don't feel like it, I find an excuse not to comply. So in short, if it is a legally binding agreement, you know the consequences of compliance, you know the consequences of non-compliance. And particularly for leadership, and inspiring respect for the rule of law, I wouldn't encourage a disrespect by an institution and this like the GCB, because you would be inspiring impunity and disrespect. Because if people get the sense that they can always find an excuse not to comply with legal obligations, we are not going to go very far as a people.
Okay, so if you can give those of us listeners and all of us a bit of education on the legal implications, for instance, of a receiver. If we say someone is a receiver, if you can help us, what does a receiver do?
A receiver basically assumes the rights that the directors previously had. You know, it is the directors who have the power to enter into agreement to dispose of company property and then chase company debts and all of that. So in short, the receiver assumes those powers, and then the directors lose those powers that they previously had. The receiver will then, of course, get together all the assets of the company. Then you pay off debtors. We always have the secured or the preferred creditors. They are the ones that you pay off. There is an order, including taxes, and then you follow that order and distribute the assets of the company. And if anything is left, then you give it to the shareholders. Yeah.
So Raymond has gone through those 10 priority persons that is supposed to go through. Anyway, so there's so much more to go through here. You're listening to the Super Morning Show. Corruption Watch is the show. And I am Daniel Dazi here with Clarabiri Kaseti, whom you just heard, and Dr. Valentin Menta is also here. He's done a lot of work when it comes to corporate governance. As the story has unfolded so far, Dr. Menta, what corporate governance issues have you identified with this case, with this Unibank case?
Thank you, Daniel. I think we are going back to cases of Robert Maxwell and Parmalat. Robert Maxwell owned the Mirror newspapers in the UK, and he squandered the monies of employees. And Parmalat was also a family business that also resulted in serious issues of corporate governance. With a family business, there's always lack of independence on the board. So the board should have structures like independent committees that approve transactions. And so if the board is full of family members or connected persons, we will not have that advantage of transactions being objectively approved. So there will be a lot of conflicts of interest. So in this Unibank case, the money involved is quite colossal. We are talking about nearly 6 billion, which is about 1 billion pounds. If this happened in the UK, I mean, heads would be rolling now. That's colossal. So we also learned that there were problems with the financial statements, lack of disclosure of information. That is a serious issue as well, because corporate disclosure and financial reporting play essential role in corporate governance, because you have investors and depositors relying on information. And the information provides the confidence and the trust. So if that information is not available, then they may not take their decisions as required. Okay, we have these cases being widespread in Ghana now, because our Companies Act is, as I said last time, is out of date. So
we require an update of that before we can even begin to demand the best of practice from leaders in corporate Ghana. Yes,
because the Companies Act, for example, of the UK and even Kenya, deals with most of these issues that we are having now. Connected persons. Even though the Act 930 talks about connected persons, the Companies Bill that we are presenting now is silent on connected persons.
That means this could happen in institutions that are not banks, and there will really be no way legally to deal with them.
Yes, and then that's a good point, because now we are talking about non-performing loans.
Okay.
We have not analyzed the true cause of the non-performing loans. What do the banks use to grant the loans? Financial statements. And how are they prepared? What law is used to prepare the financial statements of most of these companies? It's the Companies Act, 1963, Act 179, and it's out of date. At the moment, if you even look at the Act 930, the banking legislation, I'm not surprised they mentioned that if there's conflict, that the Act will prevail because it's more stringent.
Yes. There's a conflict between the company law and Act 930.
Yes, because it's more stringent. I would have expected that whoever presented the Companies Bill 2018 should have looked at the Banking Act and then ensure that most of the similar provisions agree.
Okay. Right. Dr. Mensah has been pointing out some of the key issues when it comes to corporate governance that may have caused what happened with Unibank. He's talking about how the governance principles, particularly talking about constitution of the board, how subcommittees of the board must approve some actions, the way financial statements must be prepared in order to access notes and what have you. Those may have been ignored. Lawyer Clara Berry was also taking us to the beginning of the discussion when we were talking about the workers and the rights that must come to them. We want to take these important messages. When we come back, we'll go a bit further into what Dr. Mensah has been talking about. This is what has happened. One interesting thing about this banking issue is that so many different people have spoken, so many different opinions have been given, so many state institutions have spoken that they will act. We'll try and evaluate some of those things this morning and sort of give a citizen's expectation of what these people are supposed to do. Stay with us. This is the Super Morning Show.
Mr. Bossman, with all these computers, servers, and electronic equipment, I know they see one cable for the floor crack.
Charlie, you be right too. We they use raised access floors from Interface, so all the cables they hide under the raised access floors. So
this be the solution to the plenty cables where they my computer room for office. Accountant, call Interface now.
If you're involved in new property development, renovation, or decoration, the right place for you is Interface Limited. Call us on 0274-999999 or visit our website at www.interfacelimited.com.
What's your thing? A high baller, always after the bigger picture. Living your life in boardrooms, transiting through VIP lounges into first or business class. Sipping on some way while flipping through pages of FT and Bloomberg. What's your thing? Your life is busy and your schedule is crazy. But when you can make some time, you try to unwind with some jazz or high life. Over some drinks with friends, but the business talk never ends, even at the bar. Let's do your thing. Stanbic Bank. Moving forward.
Join the Laughgasm Fiesta with the best of African comedians at Glow Laughter Fest at Fantasy Dome, Pavilion F, Trade Fair Center, Accra on 12th of August and 9th of September, featuring Basketmouth, Bovi, Salvador, Senator, Dan the Humorous, Chemical, Shay Law, Godons, Jacinta, DKB, and Foster Romanus. To gain entry, just dial *5301# and use 20 Ghana cedis on voice or 30 Ghana cedis on voice and data within 30 days. Glow Laughter Fest. Don't miss out.
The Grandmasters of Data. Glow Ghana.
The Buzia Institute for Rural and Democratic Development, BIRDD, and the entire Buzia family invites you to the 40th anniversary lecture celebrating the legacy of Dr. Kofi Abrefa Buzia. Tuesday, the 28th of August, 3 p.m. at the Accra International Conference Center. Come as we celebrate the life and values of Dr. Kofi Abrefa Buzia. Special guest of honor, His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. The Buzia Institute for Rural and Democratic Development, BIRDD, projects and protects the vision, works, and legacy of Dr. Kofi Abrefa Buzia, which primarily had to do with rural development, democracy, and education. We entreat all who believe in the vision and values of Dr. Buzia to participate in the 40th anniversary lecture. Remember, it's Tuesday, the 28th of August, 3 p.m. at the Accra International Conference Center. All are welcome.
I am Dr. Acacia. Acacia gives your workers the best customer service and treatment options when the need arises, keeping them healthier and more productive for your business. Acacia Health Insurance. We place value on those you value.
Yes! Adom Praise 2018! He's giving me victory! Ghana, it's time for God Almighty to inhabit the praises of His people. Adom Praise 2018 brings you a dynamic assembly of the finest praise and worship leaders. Let's join hearts with one accord to glorify the Lord of Hosts. The gateway of heaven will open as Dinah Hamilton, Sax Bossa, Willie and Mike, Pastor Kwame Manukwe and Kweku Jesse usher us to the heavenly throne room. The dew of heaven will fall on the ministration of Elder Mreku and Eben to shatter all yokes to declare victory.
There is power in your name.
The date is Friday, 31st August 2018, and the venue is Perez Dome, Jolu Junction. Join the conversation. Hashtag #AdomPraise18. Adom Praise 2018 is brought to you by Vodafone. The future is exciting. Ready? And Yield Money Plus, Fasusoto, sponsors DBS Roofing Sheet, Roof Papa Fie, Belacqua, proudly Ghanaian, Dr. Caesar Lina Energy Drink, Adabrejo, Away, Amanak Real Estate. You dream it, we build it. Franco Trading Enterprise, Phone Papa Fie, Vitamilk, a meal on its own. Classic no mosquito coil and spray. Wubede Feely, Escort Security Services. Think safety, choose Escort Security. Goldman Capital, financial support, solid as gold. Fresh Lady, Yopo Fresh. Araba Basin Pills, Maya Obasima, Papa's Pizza. Taste it, love it. Trelidor, Africa's strongest burglar proofing, securing your blessings. Media partners, Precious TV, Footprint TV, Sweet Melodies FM, Sunny FM, DU TV, and powered by the Multimedia Group Limited. Adom 106.3 FM. Yeah, tough. Adom Praise 2018. Yeah, baby. This has given you victory.
The Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, in collaboration with the Ministry of Trade and Industry and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, presents Ghana Industrial Summit and Exhibition 2018 under the theme International Partnership for Value-Added Industrial and Local Content Development from the 18th to the 20th of September at the Accra International Conference Center. GISE provides massive strategic networking opportunities for local and international participants, plus an interactive knowledge platform of stakeholders and players in various sectors of industry. Sponsors GNPC, Rosatom, VRA, Deloitte, Newmont Ghana, Republic Bank, GCB Bank, Baroque Ventures, and Backpress. Media partners Joy Business, Graphic Communications, BNFT, and Ghanaian Times. For inquiries on exhibition space and conferences, call 0244-933-106. Be a partner to drive industrial growth.
What you say now? Squad alongside Man and Morris, Babyface. What you say now?
Africa money, I got the chop on fuga.
What you say now? Squad alongside Man and Morris, Babyface. What you say now?
Africa money, I got the chop on fuga.
29 minutes to the top of the hour here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. This is Corruption Watch. Your text messages are brought to you by Afrodan, your backman's last year a lifetime, and Glyco Travel Insurance Policy. We cushion you for life. Our guests on Corruption Watch are Clara Berry Kasati. She's a lawyer and a lecturer at GIMPA, and Dr. Valentin Mensah. He's a corporate governance expert and a researcher. He's also an accountant. Get the Glyco Travel Insurance Policy designed to cover travel costs and reduce the risk associated with unexpected events during your international and domestic travels to Europe, the Schengen countries, or anywhere worldwide. Talk to us today on 055-530-5547 or 020-887-6956. Let's help you plan for a peaceful travel abroad. Glyco Travel Insurance Policy. Cut the hustle, all the convenience. Glyco Life, we cushion you for life. Now, Afrodan is offering you today the most comfortable chair in the world, period. The Nightingale Extreme Comfort Chair with over 10 thoughtfully engineered features, especially customized for your health and comfort. So go to Afrodan on the first floor of the Swansea Shopping Arcade and feel this chair. You will be amazed. Let me come to my guests now, and let's deal with some of the developments that have come to this issue of, the collapse of these 7 banks since last year. I'll begin with you, lawyer. So this morning in the newspapers, one of the notable things that we've seen are the reactions of state institutions. So we've heard the finance minister speak, saying that just giving out the bond is not the end of it. Government is looking at getting to the bottom of it. We've had Parliament speak. Parliament has said that, okay, so we are going to start a public inquiry from the 6th of September for 6 days, invited the directors of these banks. We are going to look into this issue. What do you make of these reactions that they've had? Some are saying that, for instance, the office of the president should have been loud on this by now. What do you make of these reactions?
I really don't know what to make of the reactions. Should I say I'm surprised that we have these reactions? No. So to some extent, it is expected. Parliament, as the people's representatives, should be interested in what is going on. And then, of course, if the public inquiry can be made public, so that everybody, the entire public, can see the proceedings and then learn the required lessons, and not just that at the end of the day, accountability will be had, not because anyone is interested in punishing necessarily for the sake of punishing, but so that you inspire accountability, that value of accountability and responsibility. Because if you look at the situations, it's not just the directors of the banks who were at fault. It's everybody else that is involved in the regulation of the banking industry. Like the comment I have made, I would like to see the auditor's report, external auditor's report at this in particular. When if you read the reports of what happened, when all of these things were happening, were their accounts audited? What were the external auditors' report? The reason is that we already have the legal framework to have made sure that we caught this in time. And the fact that we didn't catch it in time for it to go up to this level is a problem. Because you have the regulator, that is Bank of Ghana. The banks have an obligation to be giving reports to the Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana supervises auditors. Their accounts are required to be auditors. And the reason you have auditors is that they are external in the sense that they are independent.
Okay.
And because they are independent, you want to trust their professional opinion that they would give a true and fair view of the accounts. And of course, auditors know that the shareholders in particular are going to rely on the account. So will the regulator. So that you would have, if there were any internal issues going on, depending on what the issues are, those issues would have been flagged in the external auditor's report.
Okay.
Including the Bank of Ghana itself. The report shows that the Bank of Ghana did detect that corporate governance rules were not complied with, and that certain directors were not complying with some of the rules and regulations. What did the Bank of Ghana do about that? Because these are two things. That could be happening because of two things. Either the board of directors lacked the expertise and the knowledge to run the affairs of the bank the way they were required to run, or it was just simply impunity. Whichever case it is, Bank of Ghana was seized with the right power and jurisdiction to deal with it. Bank of Ghana can recommend removal of directors and actually ensure that they are removed.
Okay.
Bank of Ghana can decide that certain persons, for stated reasons, are not appointed. And then if you are appointed and then you undertake certain action so that the Bank of Ghana thinks that you do not have the required expertise or skill, or even the other aspects of it, including whether you've ever been fraudulent before or not, and then decide whether you should be removed or not. Bank of Ghana, if the issue was also expertise, can build capacity. We can't continue, I always say that we want to build local capacity. We are not going to do that on sentiments. If we want to build indigenous businesses and indigenous capacity, it's training. You have to acquire the right skills. You have to apply the right principles. It's not just by talking it that we are going to get there. So the other issue is, what did Bank of Ghana do? So yes, this is not just about, yes, there is responsibility and accountability internally for the companies involved. There is responsibility and accountability internally for the regulator, the Bank of Ghana in this case. Because the only reason why we have a regulator is to prevent some of these things from happening.
Talking about the role that the regulator has played, I have, for instance, interviewed Dr. Kwabena Donko, and I raised this point earlier about how he feels that because of the role that the Bank of Ghana played, when you look at what has happened to some of these workers, for instance, who may want some severance package, Bank of Ghana can step in at this point and decide to provide that support for them.
I don't know why it is not the Bank of Ghana's duties to come and pay salaries. The companies that you were running, there are labor laws, there are responsibilities. They should pay up. What I would be interested to know what he thinks should be the responsibility of directors and management in this case. The employees, that's why it's quite sad, because when I read through the reports, you can see some of how some of these things happened. A lot of it was the situation, just simple. The internal structures were not observed, and you could see I didn't see dissent. We have this culture where we don't encourage dissent. That when people want something done right, we rather tend to
They are the anomalies.
They are the anomalies, and we will get rid of them. So we end up building this culture of timidity where nobody wants to talk. You see the right thing going on, but because you know you will be made a scapegoat if you talk up, you just watch. And so I am sure when things were going wrong, some of the employees would have seen these things going wrong. Some of them would have had concerns, but maybe out of fear that they would be victimized and that they would lose their jobs, they just kept quiet. So we actually, it's at the end of the day, I've always said that we are not going to go far if we never learn our lessons. From everything that has been going on, I don't see us learning our lessons. I see us personalizing issues, that when something has happened, we tend to think it is this person after the fact, and then we just go back to doing the same things that would land us exactly where we are in a matter of time.
What would you have expected at this stage?
What I would have expected was that at least if the structures were run right, and then we were more interested in meritocracy, we are more tolerant to dissenting views, that we would allow people to talk and not hold separate persons from issues and listen to whether or not they are making sense and deal with things in the proper way. People will have the confidence to confront a problem. People should have a relief. Employees shouldn't be afraid of victimization. So you have unionization, for example, that if maybe all employees can't deal with a particular thing, you have certain people who are protected by law, so that when they raise the issues, they cannot be victimized for those issues. So we have to go back. There are a lot of fundamental structures and core issues we have to go back to. Otherwise, this will just be one of those things. We'll just go through the motions, and then we go back to life as normal. And then somewhere along the line, we find ourselves back.
Let me put that same question to you, Dr. Mensah. What do you think we must do so that this does not become the same old thing with every other big case that we hear?
Okay. First of all, let me answer some of the issues that Clara has raised.
Okay.
I'm not only because I'm an auditor, but I have to.
Yes, go ahead.
Respond to that. I mean, with that culture issue, she's spot on. We have a culture of power distance where there's total respect for authority. So if the boss is doing something that is not right, the employees, even though they may have observed, cannot do anything about it. And this may be the reason why now the employees are coming back, because they do not work for the boss anymore. But they should have done it while it was happening. It would have saved their jobs. Secondly, Clara talked about the auditors. I would say that the auditors may have done their jobs, but then it's the same problem with disclosure. I can tell you that from the report on the state of corporate reporting and governance, I can tell you that there were some listed companies that did not publish their full annual reports because they were not happy with the auditor's report. So when their full annual report became available, then you could tell why they did not. They were reluctant. The Bank of Ghana, the banks and specialized institutions, deposits Act,
Special Deposit Taking Institution Act.
Act 90 requires the banks to publish their annual financial statements on their websites by 31st March of the following year. From 31st March to 31st July, 6 banks had not published their annual reports. And what they had sent to the Securities and Exchange Commission, some of them were even extracts, pages of the financial statements. And then the condensed reports, which even had some sections of the auditor's report, did not mention the auditor's reservation in the report.
So you feel that these are some of the issues or the laxities that come up that lead to the situation that we have?
But why wasn't it enforced? Yes, because they're supposed to publish.
They are supposed to scrutinize. The SEC and the Bank of Ghana are supposed to scrutinize the reports. So if a company files extracts of financial statement when they have to file the full annual reports, as per the Section 54 of the XCC's regulations and Section 90 of the Banks Act 2016, we need to enforce the rules. Bank of Ghana's penalty is quite stringent on that. I don't even know if for the 6 banks, the Bank of Ghana has enforced that and the penalties have been paid.
Well, so there's a litany of issues when it comes to, first of all, regulation, the regulators, and then, of course, I always say that we cannot run a country based on people's discretion. So if the regulators are not there to crack the whip, the discretion of the individual who is being regulated, well, your guess is as good as mine. But then we cannot go through all of the issues this morning. We'll take these messages. When we come back, we'll wrap up on today's show. And then, of course, the discussion on what is being called the Bank Gate continues even after today. So this is a Super Morning Show. Stay with us. We will be right back.
Welcome to Entrance University College of Health Sciences, the newest health university college here in Ghana, poised to add in value to the pharmaceutical industry in the country. Entrance was set up to meet the high demand for research and in-depth knowledge for pharmacy. We are accredited by the National Accreditation Board, affiliated with the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Students have the unique opportunity to enhance on training with the Entrance University Hospital and the Entrance Pharmaceutical and Research Center. School starts in September 2018.
Call us on
050-908-6631 or 050-908-6651. Enroll now. You can locate us at Opoigono of the Spintesh Road, Accra. Entrance University College of Health Sciences, your preferred choice for pharmaceutical and allied health training.
Taking that leap to own a home can be a daunting process until that moment when you walk through the doors. The sense of security, financial stability, that incredible feeling of finally is incomparable. That's why every year we bring you the Habitat Fair. So get ready for this year's Joy News Western World Properties Habitat Fair, brought to you in collaboration with MNC Properties. The fair brings together finance houses, construction firms, real estate developers, dealers in furnishing, and many more. There will be a second clinic at the West Hills Mall from Saturday, August 18 to Sunday, August 19, 2018 from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The Joy News Western World Properties Habitat Fair 2018 is brought to you by Western World Properties. Live your true comfort. JL Properties, the city's favorite developer. The Greens, redefined living. Castle Steel Structures Limited. Dream it, we build it. DBS Roofing, Roofing Papapaya Fiat. Zenith City, the new airport city. MNC Properties, a choice of class, elegant homes and general construction where you live your dream. And Fortune City Estates, our house, our fortune. Join News Habitat Fair 2018. Affordable housing for all.
MNC Group, House of Realities, offers you a boutique that business dreams thrive on. They are MNC Management Consult, MNC Logistics and Trading, MNC Properties, MNC Energy, and MNC Finance. All around the globe, MNC Group provides a shelter for good business and trustworthy relationship. Step under the MNC Group canopy and enjoy best business results. We are located at Plot 259, Carrot
Airport Avenue, East Legon, adjacent Lizzie Sports Complex. Telephone 0302-998-246. We are also located across the world in Dubai and Sharjah in UAE, Guangzhou in China, Joburg in South Africa, and Douala in Cameroon. MNC Group, House of Realities.
FPAC is effective for headaches and relieves the symptoms of flu, colds, and catarrh. FPAC blows away the pain associated with sore throats. During and after a hard day's work, FPAC relieves you of body pains. After the day's sports workout, FPAC helps the body to control the aching muscles. FPAC is effective against feverishness. FPAC reduces body temperature associated with malaria and other fevers. FPAC is effective against rheumatic pains. You can find FPAC in all pharmacy and chemical select shops throughout the country. FPAC is not recommended for children less than 16 years of age, ulcer and asthmatic patients, pregnant and lactating mothers. If symptoms persist for more than 2 days, consult your doctor. FPAC blows your pain away.
FPAC Junior follows in the tradition of FPAC tablets, a trusted friend to relieve your child of pain associated with teething, catarrh, cold, and fever. The good that FPAC does for you, FPAC Junior does for your child. FPAC Junior is for children between 6 months and 12 years. FPAC Junior blows your child's pain away.
Super Morning Show. Hi!
We are the Yale Whiff and Poops.
And you're listening to the Super Morning Show with Daniel Daze.
Live on Joy 99.7 FM.
What you say now? Squad alongside Man and Morris, Babyface. What you say now?
It's Corruption Watch on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. I am Daniel Daze here with Dr. Valentin Menta. He is an accountant, a researcher, and a corporate governance expert and lawyer. Clara Bieri Katsati. She is, of course, a lawyer, and she teaches the law as well at GEMPA. We've been discussing the most recent developments when it comes to the collapse of these 7 banks. And I'll be allowing my guests to wrap up in a moment. But before that, Kingdom Books and Stationery has discounted all school materials by 10% this academic year. So from the 1st of August to the 29th of September 2018, you can enjoy these amazing discounts in any of the branches of Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited. You can call ahead of time to book an appointment on 0501 40 10 50 or 0302 762101, or you can log on to kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all stationery and office furniture. Now, from the 18th of June, Monday, First National Bank has been rewarding you whenever you use your Visa, Debit, Gold, or Platinum cards for transactions online and on point-of-sale devices. So just get your First National Bank Gold or Platinum Visa Debit cards ready and keep swiping and some cool cash rewards in your savings pocket. This is not a promotion, it's a First National Bank thing. First National Bank, how can we help you? Now, the government of Ghana has instituted a group life insurance package for both teaching and non-teaching staff of GES to ensure that every staff of GES has a minimum level of insurance cover and also to complement the existing funeral grant. The underwriter is SIC Life Company Limited. The package covers natural or accidental death, permanent disability and critical illness, and contributions will be deducted through the Controller and Accountant General's Department. Premium deductions will be done at the end of September 2018, whilst cover starts from 1st September 2018. Non-interested members should complete an exit and refund form and send to the District Education Office by 31st August 2018 to avoid any premium payment by government. Claims is simple. Staff or beneficiaries must submit a written notification from the Teacher Union or GES, completed death or claim form on medical form or medical form in the case of critical illness to SIC Life offices or GES for processing, and claims will be paid within 7 working days. Now, ICGC Holy Ghost Temple invites the general public to its Spiritual Emphasis program. Beginning Tuesday 28th August to Friday 31st August 2018 is the month of new beginnings. Come and receive spirit-led ministrations from Reverend Eastwood Anaba, President of Eastwood Anaba Ministries. Host pastor is Prophet Chris Yao Ano, ICGC Holy Ghost Temple. As I said, the date is 28th August to Friday, 31st August, Tuesday to Friday. Time is 6:30 p.m. each night. Venue is the Holy Ghost Temple located at South Frafraha on the Dodowa Road. Come and experience the glory, favor, and power of God. Now, the Black Star International Film Festival, BSIFF 2018, is at it again from the 11th of August to the 11th to the 18th of August 2018. You will be able to enjoy a variety of events and activities for all ages and tastes. Calling on all film buffs out there, on the dates of 11th, 12th, 17th, and 18th of August, you get a full day of film screening at Silverbed in Accra Mall. Check out the Silverbed screens for filming schedules. There's a film buff package, unlimited film screenings for only 100 Ghana cedis. Students get an unlimited screening package for 50 Ghana cedis. Immerse yourself into African culture through cinema. Right, we wrap up in some 5 minutes, but let's begin wrapping up now. Ladies first, as always. Lawyer Clara Berry, your final thoughts.
My final thought, as always and as consistently, is the same thing, that there are some of our values we need. If our democracy is going to work for us, hard letter, paper, laws written on paper are not going to be enough. A lot of the times, the problems we have is not because of the paper. It is because of either the non-compliance or the appropriate values that go with it. So it's a fundamental issue, if you ask me. We need to go back to the fundamental framework and include in those framework the right values. If we have the potential, we are a great people. We have a lot of talented people. We have the natural resources. If we get our legal framework well and our values well, I don't see why we can't be the best nation on earth, because we have some of the most talented and hardworking people on earth. So this shouldn't just end up being one of those things where we go through the motions and the sensationalism and then the emotions, and then after that it dies down, it goes out because a new issue would crop up and then we get fixated on that as well. I hope this will help us. And then that leadership will also use this not just to address and hold accountable, as well as inspire the right values for our nation to move forward.
Thank you so much, Clara Berry Kasati. Dr. Mensah, your final comments.
Okay. I think that it's time that we looked at the develop a corporate governance code, as most countries have done. We seem to be working in silos. Bank of Ghana's corporate governance, SEC corporate governance. We need to have one corporate governance code that most of the companies that are contributing to the non-performing loans will use.
Okay.
Secondly...
You mean the private companies that have come for loans?
Yes, or the public companies, because public companies and even private companies, it will inform them on how they direct and control their businesses. And then, as I've always said, the Companies Act, at the moment, it's not fit for purpose. And the bill as well is not stringent in certain areas of keeping proper accounts, preparation of financial statements, directors' duties, and directors' reports. So that has to be looked at urgently, especially if these colossal amounts are being paid by the taxpayers. Okay. The government would have to look at that urgently. And we need to look at sanctions. It's about time that we look at sanctions for these breaches.
Right.
Kenya, for example, can charge up to 100,000 cedis for not keeping proper accounts, and term of imprisonment of up to 5 years for some infractions. We will have to look at that so that the people will be discouraged of engaging in this sort of activities.
Thank you so much, Dr. Valentin Mensah, and also lawyer Clara Berry Kasati. And this has been Corruption Watch on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. You know what? We all in our own